He is our visionary, our founder, Mr. Peter Castleman.
Thanks, everyone. Before I get started, just walking around tonight, there are two things I want to address. So many of you folks came up to me and said, thank you, thank you, thank you. No, it's thank you, thank you, thank you. Because Yevo is you, will be you, and success for all of us and what we're doing and the mission we're doing will be because of people like you. Not us, it's people like you. So first and foremost, look at yourself, look around, look who's sitting next to you. That's who's making Yevo successful, and that's what Yevo's all about. So let's clap yourself right now. The second thing is that a lot of people ask me, when did you start thinking about this? How'd you get started? Why'd you do this? A lot of normal questions, which I usually don't think of because it's been my life for a long time. So I'll give you a quick summary of that before I get started. Basically, I do one thing, which is build companies. Unfortunately, it's the only thing I'm good at. At least that's what my wife tells me. And I've been doing all my life. It's easy for me. I have a nice formula. You see where there's a problem, a need. You figure out the solution. You create a mission to solve that problem, and then you build a company. And that's what I've been doing. We've built a number of multi-billion-dollar companies where, I'll give you a couple examples, to reduce drug costs. We built one of the largest generic drug companies. To reduce healthcare costs, we built one of the largest PBMs. To cure people, we were part of the biotech revolution in the 1980s and funded a dozen companies or so that were highly successful to take care of people. To let people enjoy the great outdoors. We built a major consumer products outdoor company. I had two successes in the network marketing business. We started a preventive medicine company bringing traditional Chinese medicines over. That was called Pharmanex, that we sold to Nu Skin, and Nu Skin's done a wonderful job with it. And another one was a weight management company that was actually going under after the founder, Mark Hughes, died, named Herbalife, and we bought it, took it private, and fixed it. By fixed it, we did one thing. We empowered distributors to succeed, because that's the most important thing in a network marketing company. So my passion is trying to make the world healthier. That's what all my companies have, my main focus of my company building has been. And I've been very successful in the company building side, but guess what? The world's not healthier. Actually, our health is at an all-time low. Chronic disease is all-time high. We have new diseases like childhood diabetes and other things that aren't going well. So if your life work is not doing what you hoped it to do, you do some soul searching, which is what I did about 25 years ago. And it took a while, but it dawned on me that everyone was focused on the wrong thing. Absolute wrong thing. The most important determinant of our wellness, our health, our quality of life, many times our financial situation, and I think ultimately our happiness is nutrition, just what you said. And by nutrition, it's simple. Are you getting your body's cells the essential nutrients they need for your body and mind to grow, heal, and live, which is how they were designed? And guess what? No one's doing it, and no one's focusing on it. And so I committed over 20 years ago that my biggest mission in life was to try to build a company that did that. Fast forward it, 20 years, I'm a slow starter. And we launched Yevo formally about a month and a half ago. And I committed 20 years ago, the rest of my life. I hope I have a lot of rest of my life left, but that's what I'm doing, and that's what we're doing. And it's to solve that one problem, trying to get people their essential nutrients. I hope it's my biggest legacy. I hope it's your biggest legacy, because I know there's not a bigger, more important mission in life. So that answers the second question I was asked a lot tonight. So let me run through a little bit of the background of what we have here. I use pictures because I'm dyslexic. The team made me put words. The words bounce around for me, so I can see the pictures. So to me, it makes all the sense in the world. That's the grim reaper of fact. We're literally eating ourselves to death. It affects everyone. No one is immune to it. And beyond just food, it affects almost everything you care about. It is not a food crisis. It's a living crisis. And what's the problem? The problem, where's Waldo? There's a 43 in that photo on the left, is essential nutrients have disappeared from our life. For the last 100 years, we value something called calories, cheap calories, not nutrition, not essential nutrients. And consequently, what we've gotten is empty, bad, and addictive calories. Addictive. They do the exact same thing that cocaine does. It lights up your brain. And that's why people are so addicted to fast foods and processed foods. So what's the problem with all that? If you have foods that do not have their essential nutrients, it damages the body cells. As easy as that. Damages the body cells. And that's the beginning of all the health and wellness problems that you might face. So I've heard 1,000 times, oh, so you're a healthy food company. No, we're not. Food is the delivery mechanism for essential nutrients. The only thing we care about is the inside of the food, the essential nutrients. We could care less about the form which is delivered. And so we're an essential nutrient company. I said it was a living crisis. What does that mean? Essential nutrients affects almost anything you care about. Goes way beyond foods. Your health, your wellness, your moods, the development of your children, your beauty, how fast you age, your energy, your libido, if you're a senior, whether you're at risk for getting chronic disease, everything. Yet we accept all this. We accept that we're going to get sick. We're going to have problems. And then we go to the experts in these areas, which are wonderful people. They're trying to do their best. And they try to cure us. Put a Band-Aid, take a pill, do some surgery, some lotion, whatever it may be. They're doing everything but going to the root cause of the problem, which is essential nutrients. And that's the problem. And to boot, we spend a lot on food. We spend over $20 per person per day on average. Some of you guys probably spend more than that. But we spend 2, 3, 4 times that amount on all these other things. And yet, are you out there saying, I need my essential nutrient because I don't want to age rapidly? But that's what we should be doing, and no one's doing it. So I hate to say this, but most of the problems that you have, health-wise or wellness-wise, is your fault. It's the 80-20 rule. 20% of issues are genetics. You're dealt a bad hand. Now, good nutrition can help you out there, but it's only 20%. 80% is lifestyle, what you choose to do. And there are 2 things that you choose to do. One is the small one is exercise. That's not going to the gym for 2 hours. If you want to, that's great. It's walking to the mailbox and back. The big one is nutrition, whether you're getting your essential nutrients. So that's the single most important thing you can do to avoid or prevent health and wellness problems. This one looks very clear to me, but you have to be dyslexic to understand it. Simply, the body has 37 trillion cells. That's a lot, trillion, okay? They need essential nutrients, the right ones, the right amount, and the right balance daily, because they work together. If they do not get them, they fight. They fight for the precious essential nutrients. The ones that don't get them are damaged. That weakens the body. That's the beginning of inflammation, pain, and sickness. And if they continue not to get them, they die, your cells die an early death. They're not designed to do that. But with that comes rapid aging, and the big one is risk of chronic disease. Chronic disease are all those things you do not want, starting with cancer, heart disease, kidney disease, bone disease, all those bad things that we're exposed to. That's the world we live in today. Now, the reverse is also true. If they get them, your cells are healthy. Your body and your mind operate the way they should, growing, healing, and living. And when you do that, you reach something called satiety state. It's critical to achieve satiety state. How do you do it? It's pretty simple. It means your body cells are satisfied because they have your essential nutrients. And that's it. And when they're satisfied, your mind and your body operate the way they're supposed to. And what happens is that you get great pleasure from that. You feel full. It's not full like you've eaten a big Thanksgiving meal. It is pleasure that comes from your cells working the way they should. And they tell the brain, I got what I need, I'm happy, I'm satisfied, and it shuts your body down from going out and seeking more food. You won't be hungry for hours. It's critical. It's a wonderful feeling. And it occurs immediately with your first meal, if you got your 43 in there. And here's the big thing. The body's amazing, body and mind. It will repair itself. Many of scientists think it does it immediately. Most think it does it within weeks. I'll give you a story. My father-in-law has got dementia about 2-3 years ago. Does anyone in this room have a loved one that has dementia? See a lot of hands. There's nothing worse. It's awful. And we lost him. You sit at the dining room table and he's gone. And so, you know, as Chip and I moved along in this project, we were at the point that I put him on a Yevo program about a year ago. Oatmeal in the morning, our brain shake later in the day, maybe another Yevo meal later in the day. And within a month, we had him back. He's not perfect, but he knows who we are. He's part of the conversation. It's great. It's wonderful. Yeah. And it's like your story. That's the way it can be. And it's up to us. And here's the other thing. When this is very important. It's not just about health. It's about, you can save money too. If he had continued to deteriorate, we would have had to send him to a home that we would have paid hundreds of dollars for. So this is costing us $12 a day, actually cheaper than what he was eating. But I call it double dipping. He's healthier and we're saving money. That's the way it can be. This is a win-win for you and your loved ones. So you need 43 of them. You need the right amount. You need them daily. You need them in the right balance. Essential means your body can't produce them. You have to get them externally. Now, so many people kind of think this is to look good, getting the bathing suit, whatever it is, because you hear so much about diet. No. What is the organ that uses the most energy from your food? Does anyone know? The brain. How much does the brain weigh of your body? 2%? It does? Does anyone know how much of the energy it uses? 25 to 30%. How about a 4-year-old child? Does anyone have a young child? I know some people have some young child. How much of the energy from food does your 4-year-old child use if she is resting? 66%. Why? The most important thing for children's development, both mentally and physically, are essential nutrients. So if you love your kids, I had the experience with my father-in-law. Same thing with 4-year-old kids. Same thing. It's universal. So this is really important. I get so tired of the nutrition industry and the industry saying, you got to lose weight. You got to count calories. You got to cut this out. You got to do that. The dumbest thing that brilliant people have brought us is calorie counting. It's just don't calorie count. Essential nutrient count. Why? If you get your essential nutrients, you'll reach satiety state. You will not be hungry. Your body will respond accordingly. Okay? That's what it's all about. Losing weight or getting the right level is a byproduct of having a healthy body and mind through your essential nutrients. That's critical. So this is not like a, 10-step program. This is one step. Get your 43 essential nutrients. I love it if Yevo's food is how you do it. I'm also great if you have another way to do it. The mission is the most important thing. It's universal. Okay, and we'll talk later. We do it in a simple, easy, affordable way, but it's critical you get your 43. Now, I've heard so many people say, it's hard because, kids like the Happy Meal or those donuts are pretty good. Guess what? Guess how we were designed? I'll give you a 1939 study. A scientist took 30 toddlers, put them in a room, 2- and 3-year-olds. This is before they were polluted by Super Bowl marketing of great foods and addictive calories and foods that parents gave kids and so on. They didn't know better. Each kid had a particular nutrient deficit. They needed something. And they put foods out in this room that had different profiles. Plus they put sweets and chocolates and other things. Guess what happened? The kids each kid went to the specific food that their body needed. They knew what their body needed. Toddlers. So if toddlers can do it, all we have to do is step back in life and be like toddlers. That's how important it is, and that's how we were designed. It's critical for me that we attack our wellness and our health. And my dream is everyone's that we touch improves their wellness and their health. But I'm also pulling for your financial wherewithal. Okay? And I actually love the network marketing business. Why? Because it gives people an opportunity to have financial strength and independence. It's the only business model in my 35 years of building companies that has a level playing field. It's what you do. It doesn't matter degree, religion, race, none of that stuff matters. It's what you do. And I was involved with 2 of them, and both very successful, and the people who wanted to did very well by it. And so this is an aspect of the business side of it. And this is very important. The old model was retail. Everything was retail. Walmart, the malls, all that. We, the network marketing industry, picked up the fringe. The fringe was nice. I mean, we had shakes, we had supplements, we had some beauty things and so on, but it was wherever retail didn't do a good job. Now, as good as this industry's been, it's going to be better going forward. Why? There's one big event that's happened. Well, Al Gore claims that he invented it, but what happened? That's changed everything. The internet. Internet has forever changed consumer habits. Okay? It's moved it from this one big bucket called old consumer habits to a barbell. Half on one side called commodity products. How can I get what I want at the cheapest cost? Who's winning that? Did I hear Amazon? Amazon, if you're Chinese, Alibaba, right? Walmart's trying to figure out how the heck to get over there. They don't care about Target any longer. They care about being over there. We don't care about that. The other side of products of the heart. Let's see. What matters to you? Your health, your wellness, the health of your children, the development of your children, how rapidly you age, whether you're going to be exposed to chronic disease, all the things that you care about and that we are. That's perfect for one-to-one selling. That's perfect for, and I do this all the time, bring people into my home. I feed them our food and talk about this. And that's what we are. We're creating a nutritional revolution, one person at a time, one meal at a time. And it's critical. And guess what? We're now mainstream. We're not fringe any longer. And then when you combine that with something which is called disruptive technology, how many people are going to go out to that payphone out there and call home when their meeting's over? Oh, wait, there's not a payphone out there, right? Why? You all have these things in your pockets, right? Yeah. And there's 1,000 other examples. of disruptive technology. It is when a company or some group introduces a new way of doing things, a lot of times around technology, that forever changes how society operates. And I have, I don't know, 5 or 6 examples up there. You can imagine more. Well, that's what we do. Okay, think about it. No one is getting their 43 essential nutrients. I can't, even if they are spending a ton of money trying to get the healthiest of healthiest, they're probably coming close. Okay, what do? We do one thing. We deliver your 43 essential nutrients in a simple, easy, and affordable way. That's it. Now, maybe it's because I see the world differently, but it is crystal clear to me that 50 years from now, everyone in the world will be getting their 43 essential nutrients. They won't be calorie counting any longer. This is such disruptive technology. And, you know, I hate to say it. Does everyone have an iPhone? Something like that? Guess what? It's painful. You can live without that. You can't live a healthy, happy life without your essential nutrients. So when I build companies, I always look for forces out of your control that actually are helping you. And guess what? There are 5 or 6 that are just helping us all day long. Number one, you can see up in the clouds, no one's cells are getting their essential nutrients. I've talked about that. There are no good solutions. The awareness, that third wave down, is off the charts. You can't go a day without people becoming aware there's something wrong here. I've talked about the broken business model where people are trying to cure you, not going to the root cause of the problem. The big squid is the big market. It's a $5 trillion food industry. And then when you add up wellness and health and beauty and all these other things, you're talking about tens of trillions of dollars globally. The supplement business, which a lot of folks have been in, is a $30 billion. I mean, this is enormous. And then the final one to me is important. It says the ultimate repeat customer. What happens if people don't eat? They die. They have to eat. We're just going to get them to eat the good stuff. The good stuff means the 43, the sun, which takes you to that wonderful island called satiety state, and that's all it is. This one's near and dear to my heart, and probably yours, because you wouldn't be here if you weren't entrepreneurial. But the power of the entrepreneur is, to me, one of the great qualities that humans have. And in the last 100, 200 years, entrepreneurs have massively transformed virtually every industry. And you can dream and think about it, except for one, nutrition. We're actually going the other way. But we're going to do something about it. But you might say, I'm ordinary. What can I do about it? Well, you're not ordinary. Each and every one of you are extraordinary. And I learned that as a teenager. I'll tell you a personal story. As I mentioned, I have dyslexia. That's a learning disability. At least that's what they call it today. When I grew up, they call it being stupid. I can't tell you how many times I was called stupid growing up. It's not a lot of fun. So I made my way to college, and the dean of students brought me into her office the first week there and said, Peter, you're not very smart. You can't handle this load. The only reason you got into Duke is because you're a good lacrosse player. And what I would do is I would drop out now and learn a skill like house painting so you can be productive for the rest of your life. Well, that was devastating. And so, you know, I know part of my brain doesn't work. It's hard to read and write and all that stuff. You know, if you're probably someone's dyslexia out there, you understand, but the rest of it don't understand. But the other side worked great. Growing up, my imagination and seeing things that other people didn't see, I knew there was something good there. So I went about immediately that day, proving to myself only I wasn't stupid. I didn't know what stupid meant, but I knew I wasn't. I quit lacrosse, never played again, and went to not try to solve dyslexia, because you can't do that. Maybe someday, but not. Maybe it's foods. I don't know. but to find the other side. And it worked. I was dean's list every single semester. That woman had to sign that sheet, by the way, which I loved. I graduated with the highest honors, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa, double major, honors in economics. I had one kink in my performance. I was only runner-up to the economic prize. I think I should have won it, but I turned my honors thesis, the economics of solar energy, into a business 10 years later and made millions for lots of people. Sold it to the Chinese a while ago. And the winner didn't do that. I made my way to business school a little later. And at Harvard, I graduated something called Baker Scholar, which is the top, 3% of the class or something of that nature. And it's supposed to be the 3% of the brightest. They didn't realize I was actually stupid. I didn't tell them that because I was afraid I wouldn't get the award. And with that comes a lot of job offers. So I tried them. Two really fancy corporation that everyone wants to work with. I failed miserably. Why? Because that's not me. I'm not a conformist. I have to let my imagination work. I have to go my own way. And I'm only good at one thing, company building. And luckily, I failed miserably, so knew it and moved over and found a way to build companies. And that's what I've been doing. And that's what I'm doing at Yevo. Yevo's not going to change my lifestyle, but it has changed my life. It's changed my family's life already. And it changed my friends and any of my loved ones' life. And I know it can change your life. We are doing something extremely special. We are giving everyone a path to better wellness, health, quality of life, financial opportunity, and I think ultimately happiness. And to me, there's no higher calling. And I hope it's my legacy, and I hope whoever joins, it's your legacy, because I can imagine doing nothing more important. And the mission is so simple. Healthy cells, healthy body, healthy mind, and a happy life is our goal for everyone. Thank you.